Okay. He beat WFZ 2-0 in the WCA Group A. And his games against TH, where he lost 1-2, were pretty damn good, but I think just TH was a little better that day, and he just beat Fly, so I think Yumiko is in a great shape.
And of course, the 2-0 before indicates great things for the human here to come. And WFZ, well, Under in general, we have seen trying to bite their teeth out at human opponents, not knowing where to pressure exactly. And Ancient Isles, actually, not too long ago, the two of us were casting, where the Undead was trying to break for so long and almost made it happen, but expansion and tier 3 in the end does prevail, and of course, that's what we have to expect this time around as well.
Exactly. It might not be the best map for humans, since the expansion is a little further away from the base than it usually is. So this might be a map to take for WFZ. It is of course a best of 5, 3 maps until you get the win and advance to the winner bracket quarterfinal, semi-final, I'm sorry. So I guess the other maps are not as good for Undead than Ancient Isle is.
Do we know about the other maps already, or you mean just in general?
Just in general.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Ancient Isles, as you say, expansion pretty far away, so the militia duration will not last for long once they reach the expo. But Yumiko actually is a player who sometimes likes to tech at the expo, where you can then of course call militia. And also the Merc camp is far away and pretty much impossible to creep if the Undead pays attention. Of course, he has to expect this from WFZ. But for the time being, Archmage finds his level 2, he's taking the little green camp. Some humans are greedy and go from the orange camp at the beginning immediately to the expansion, where they might not get level 3, where they might end up with a lot of damage. But he's taking his time, he's not rushing it too hard, but now of course here it comes, that's what we're all expecting. This is, I think, 9 militia on the way? 8 or 9, so he's going really sure, he's making really sure.
That's indeed a lot, but I guess for WFZ, the ghouls are coming in. He's not playing Fiends, he pulls all the ghouls. Of course, his tech is already starting. So what can he do with the little melee fellas that he just called from the lumber? First little steal, first experience on the Death Knight. He's trying to go for the water elementals immediately, not for the workers. He wants them out, he wants the water shield out of the game, and so far it's looking okay, I guess. Switching to the workers now, but Yumiko beautifully microing them away. Can he steal the ogre? That would be a big pickup, and yes, he can.
Did he get it with a coil?
Ah, I think so, right?
I think he just barely missed it. But in any case, the harassment is continuing. By the way, the Talisman of Evasion not the greatest, but yeah, now the creeps are dead, and now the ghouls are all that's left to be attacked. And there might not be level 2 water elementals right now, but there's still a lot of footmen. And this first bit of harass, DK got a bit of experience. I don't think he got the big one, by the way.
Yeah, it's really very close to level 3. I saw that wrong.
So I think he wants, with the strategy, to do a little bit more damage. He is transitioning into Fiends. We've seen this a little bit from Undead a couple of times now. Going into the Fiends just a little bit later to have those 4 ghouls to attack the expansion that is being crept, and then send them back towards the lumber. So that means you have a lot more harass potential right off the bat, but a little bit fewer Fiends as the game continues. He's level 2 now, finally. Of course, very important with the aura, but the Archmage finding his ever important level 3. And this expo, honestly, didn't take much damage at all.
No, not yet. We see the first Arcane Tower. Huh?
The Naga second.
That's
a bit of a blast from the past. Haven't seen that in a long time.
Is indeed very interesting. Not too sure what to think of it, but maybe he can make up the damage that he lacks from having only 2 Fiends by the Naga, who is a great right-click hero.
Against Defend Footmen, actually, Naga plus Ghouls are really strong. Yeah. And he has Defend now, I do believe. Yeah. It's just about to finish. He's trying to go in towards the towers. Can't kill any peasants or creating towers or anything. Going for the water elemental right now, but honestly with a Naga you want to either pressure the Archmage all the time or kill Footmen. But Yumiko is preventing all of that damage that WFZ is hoping for.
The guard towers are coming up, so it's a small timing window that WFZ has to use at the moment. More experience through water elementals, but he didn't really kill anything that cost Yumiko money or gold. So I don't know what to think of it yet. Now he's going for the Footman, but Yumiko is playing this very, very safe. Does not leave his protection base or whatever. It's kind of hard. First Footman down though.
And by the way, the Undead is delaying his tier 3 by a lot, going for more statues and maybe more fiends. He has 3 fiends now, and 5 ghouls, and a statue. Usually he would have teched by now, but he isn't. He's going for a lot of map control. This is just going to delay his destroyer significantly, but at the same time, Yumiko has to be very careful. He can't really go out onto the map, because his force is just significantly weaker, currently at least. Now we see the tier 3 though. Question is he gonna continue to pressure this expo because it looks pretty safe, or is he just gonna try to creep and try to catch the human out if he engages and find levels on the Naga? Because something pretty nice against expansions actually is Fog Lightning plus Nova against the repairing peasants.
Exactly. I think you can kill a lot of peasants with that. I think with 2 guard towers being up, plus you want to pressure with the ghouls, it's not the time to go for that now. But there are no guard towers at the main base, so you can pressure that one. He can attack with the fiends, so these guard towers might not come up. First one is down, but the second one, I don't know.
He has cancelled one, but that's not too much. A lot of militia being called here, but tier 2 is already halfway through for the human, losing a peasant right now. So I think in total he lost 2 towers in production, 1 footman and 1 peasant. So this is a great early game for Yumiko. Yeah. Of course the Naga makes it so he's really restricted in his movement, but once he gets his tech up, once he gets his production up and his economy rolling, at some point he should be able to break the undead here. I think WFZ has to look for more damage. Where he can find it though, I don't really know.
Tier 3, just 2/3 of it are finished, and then he can get the destroyers, but it won't be enough. He leaves the Naga plus fiends around at the main base of the human player and tries to defend this with a ghoul and a death knight, but here comes Yumiko pressuring the undead, and a great timing here. Maybe a little too late, but he's going for the acolytes. Of course, they can't be rebuilt during tech, but he's scared.
And actually losing this ziggurat is also really big. This is gonna mean no lich.
True that. And it takes some time to get that ziggurat back up.
And he can't rebuild it as long as Yumiko is in this undead main. So even if he loses a few footmen here, that's fine by him. Of course, footmen are very expendable, and delaying that ziggurat actually such a big macro deal, losing also more and more acolytes and ghouls. He's taking so much damage, and in the meantime, in the human main, he only killed 3 peasants, and he needs to kill more, man. He needs to be trading favorably. He's down a base. But with the Orb of Corruption now, I guess the DK solo is actually pretty good at defending this. But still, man, there has been a huge wrench thrown into the gears of the undead. And coming out at full speed again on the other side, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, there's a lot of hurt footmen now. Maybe he can get a lot of experience from that. It will be level 3 if he doesn't kill them with the towers, but I think he will make sure to not do that. Oh, he killed actually, okay, one of them with his towers. But how many acolytes are dead? 4 are mining. Okay, so he has to rebuild 1, I guess. It's not that bad.
It's pretty impressive acolyte micro actually. Yeah. He was microing them all around at the same time. It's really exhausting to play like that. Archmage also very low. He can't really go into the base anymore. As you said, most of the footmen have died. Only 1 is remaining. Now the DK is joining the Naga again in the main. But what is he really accomplishing here? He's attacking the altar right now.
Yeah,
but the MK is out.
MK is out, exactly. Yumiko, by the way, he became a great friend of Lumber Mills. He has 2 again. We saw him play on Monday, where he tower pushed, like he usually does, to create a little place to fall back into if he loses the fight, you know. But this time, he built 3 Lumber Mills to block in front of him.
Yeah, I saw people in chat actually reacting to this, saying, what, this is new in the pro scene? I guess the pro scene is years behind the FFA scene.
True.
Where this seems to be common practice. But yeah, blocking lumber mills, we haven't seen that too much, but I guess it makes sense, especially here. Lumber mills cost only gold, and there's no shredder here, so usually there's a surplus of gold for the human. So yeah, Yumiko pretty much on cruise control at the moment. He's repairing in his main against the laughable 3 fiends and Naga, who is level 2 now, so Fog Lightning is a factor. But he's still not going for a lich.
Yeah, what's his backup plan here? I mean, he's so late with his destroyers. He doesn't have like 2 slaughterhouses to come from a big bank account, which he doesn't have, obviously, because he was harassed all the time. Finally the Lich, but that takes some time.
And
I think it's already too late for him.
And Yumiko going for the non-TH, non-Infi approach, the not greedy approach. Infi and TH you almost never see going tier 2 double Sanctum Breaker, which is the safe route. But Yumiko is going for this now. He wants to make this, make sure he doesn't fall to any pressure later on. He wants to get the units out quickly, fairly quickly at least. Now the Archmage in trouble. Coil and the Cold Arrow makes him low, but so is the Naga. Kind of bolt coming in. He's trying to go for the surround with the Militia. Are they going to be fast enough? Not quite. She escapes, but a second attempt will be there. There's one more bolt at the disposal of the MK. Here it comes. There it flies. He's surrounding her, but there's a lot of AoE on the Naga. Fork Lightning maybe trying to get out, but she's not going to.
He tried to transfer the town portal, but he was too late, and so the second hero on level 2 is dead. He lost the Fiend before that, so once again, great trades for Yumiko here. The Mountain King very, very close to being level 3. And once again, he's only focusing the Water Elementals, man. And I'm not too sure.
A lot of experience.
What?
Yeah, they do give a lot of experience, we have to say. But yeah, again...
Yeah, but it's not really a loss for Yumiko.
Yeah, but I don't know, killing a Breaker is so hard, they're so fast, and they're magic immune obviously. Now, maybe he can go for a hero with a Lich here. Maybe the MK. The Altar is down, actually. I don't know if there's one rebuild at the expansion. There is not. It's coming right now, but it's pretty late. But the MK escapes anyways. Lich being focused, there's a coil for the Death Knight, but that was almost the last one. And this is the difficulty for undeads oftentimes. Breakers are so tough to deal with. Pretty much Frenzy Ghouls are the only real answer, maybe A-Bombs, but you can't really produce them in mass. Now Militia coming out again, eating the Nova, being greeted by a little bit of cold here. The human heroes might be in a little bit of trouble actually, they're pretty damn low, they're being focused, Potion being swapped, Archmage consumes it, gets back up in health, now the MK in trouble. Is he gonna die this time around? More Fiend shots coming in, and the Spiders finish the job, so finally he sees a silver lining here, the Undead does, maybe getting surrounded though on the back of this.
So
is he
close.
going to? Yes.
He has to pull the town portal though, but maybe this was a kind of a small opening for WFZ killing the MK. Now he has some time to level up the Lich maybe. Where's the Naga, by the way? Ah, there she is, alright. But of course, it's no question that Yumiko is mining. He has the altar back at his expansion. The Mountain King is coming back and he starts producing more and more casters slash breakers. But we don't see tier 3, do we? No. That's weird.
Staying on tier 2, this is kind of the old schoolish style before TH and Infi really introduced this tier 3 thing. And this can become problematic because it's hard for the undead to deal with the breakers, but at the same time, the human doesn't really have any good damage output. There's no knights here, there's no gyros here, there's no griffins here. So if you don't get the bolt surrounds with the breakers, you can run into trouble.
Exactly. I don't really know why he's not following it up with a few gyrocopters at least to fight them. I don't know, Parry the Fatality, nice item against the Mountain King, I guess.
What I would love to see actually from WFZ would be a Zeppelin, because then the bolt surround wouldn't be an issue anymore.
True. It's
By the way,
easy.
again, what we saw from WFZ, from 120 as well, not too long ago, he's using one of the destroyers to keep track of the human army, because again, we are in the stage of the game, destroyers are pretty much untouchable. They don't deal much damage, but they can't be killed at the same time, so he's using them for scouting.
And I think he just killed the Murloc to steal some experience here. And here comes the creep check by WFZ. Almost level 3 Naga, only one more kill needed for that. The Orb of Corruption is of course needed against the Breaker because piercing damage is not that great against the normal armor coil, saving that Storm bolted Lich. And he's going for the MK again, but this time he has a potion, this time he has the Ankh, so it's not gonna be that easy.
Yep, but he's not gonna find any hero kills on the undead side either. There's too few breakers on the battlefield. This is 69 supply, but it really doesn't look like it. It looks like a tiny army actually.
Oh, look at
And
this, man! Counter expansion by WFZ.
Okay. We see it work very rarely. We saw it work in a spectacular game at WCA 2014 against TH that I love to mention over and over
such
again.
a legendary game.
Level 4 on the DK now. The undead is finding quite a bit of levels, quite a bit of experience. Level 3 Naga, level 2 Lich. If the Lich also gets to level 3, that's some sick nuke potential.
That's right. Plus he adds the Abomination, so he finally has something effective against the Breakers. Some tanking potential here, backed up with Fiends, obviously. 60 food already for WFZ. It's 72 for Yumiko, and I guess he scouted the Expo? Or assumes it or something? Because he goes straight for it.
And that should be enough to kill it. Breakers don't have the greatest damage output, but this is a lot of Breakers, so yeah, this will have to be cancelled. And yeah, where does he go from there? I imagine the Humanist might TP out after this, after accomplishing this goal of killing the expansion, but he's hanging around for now. Again, giving up another Water Elemental. This might give level 3 to the... Nah, Lich is still too far away. Militia actually coming in. This looks like a hard commitment from Yumiko. Don't know about this, to be honest. But no, he's retreating. He still has the Expo in his back. He doesn't go to tier 3, as you said before. But still, economically, of course, miles ahead.
The Breakers have 0 to a 1-2 upgrade, so 7 armor points, 30% damage reduction. That is a lot. On the other side, Fiends just 1-0. I'm not too sure what to make of it, to be honest.
Alright, here we see a real engagement. Maybe they're gonna fight it out for realsies. Level 3 now on the Lich. This is where things get interesting. Not dangerous for the Breakers, but of course for the heroes. But you see how hard it is for the Undead to deal with all these magic immunities. Now the Naga in a lot of trouble. She's going low. Of course she can't, because she's trying to go for the Zeppelin, but she can't make it. The feedback damage kills her before she finds her sanctuary. The Lich now in trouble, and so is the DK. He's getting bolt surrounded. This was talking about before. He has the TP though, and he can go to the Necropolis right next to him actually. And I imagine he's going to... No, he's going into the main base.
I feel this was a mistake, but Yumiko is not going for the Necropolis here. He wants to finish the red spot to give level 3 to his Mountain King, which is the better choice. And level 5 on the Archmage. Look at his inventory, man. Invul Potion, Heal Potion on both heroes, plus the Anchor of Reincarnation. I feel like these heroes will never fall.
And I think someone has to tell WFZ about the Zeppelin. Like, he wanted to get it right there when his Naga was just dying, but he should have done it before. Like, get a Zeppelin, have 2 or maybe 3 destroyers, so the Water Elementals can't easily kill him. And then, you know, get out of the surrounds with a Zeppelin. That seems to make sense, at least to my mind. Nice Burrow dodge, but not quite in time. The Fiend still dies. And the Breakers, with all their upgrades, 2-2 now, they become a real threat. They're going forward. There's not enough Abominations or Ghouls here to kill it. Now the Archmage, though, in a bit of trouble, but so is the DK. DK has no TP, no healing, no nothing. Level 4. There's the Book of the Dead surround. Here comes the Destroyer to dispel. Is it gonna be in time? DK gets just barely away, escaping on only 1 foot. The MK, though, at the same time, a lot of trouble. He's trying to go for the range. He's revealing to get vision on the DK for the bolt, but despite the boots, he's not quick enough. He can't make it. And WFZ just barely keeping his hero alive.
Wow, man. There was no Death Pact, only the Unholy Aura level 2, and so the Death Knight gets away with 100 HP. But the Lich is in trouble as well, surrounded against the forest, but able to escape here. Holy cow, what a fight at the end of the first map at the NWL here. Archmage wants with right click. There is no shop, there is no healing. The Lich is down. Archmage town portals out and keeps himself alive. But the expansion is up now.
Yeah, the TP forces the human away, but how does he get the Lich back, man? He has no resources. If he could rebuy him, that would be something, but he needs so much more gold. Now the Naga is back, but she has no invul. I'm gonna bet that she's gonna be the first target. Well, actually, the DK might. He's so low on health. He's almost level 5, though, finding the Zombie Mask. Might be a lucky break. The lucky break he needed here in Ancient Isles.
Especially against Breakers with that feedback, you get a lot of mana burned, so the Zombie Mask is always great. Level 5 on the Death Knight now as well, so level 3 coil, more nuking potential, but Yumiko is of course well aware, still has the healing potions. Oh, okay, now for the shop he wants to buy the Invuls, there it is. And there's still the Ankh, so he needs a lot of damage to profit from that, and Yumiko is coming in again.
Slow on the DK, very unfortunate from the creeps here, taking so much damage during the stun duration. Here comes the Zeppelin I was talking about, but it's too late. The DK is already dead. He had an invo, but he was too greedy to use it. It seems like WFZ is just a little bit too slow in this game with everything. Now he's losing the A-bombs. Usually they're supposed to be the counter against the breakers, but not against like 20 breakers or whatever this is. This is too much. This is GG.
21 minutes and 40 seconds in the first map is over. Yumiko not having lost a single map in this tournament. 3-0 against Focus and now 1-0 up against WFZ on a map that is pretty hard for Human. That was maybe WFZ's map to take. Not looking good for the Undead.
I have to question the Naga there, first of all. Like, she didn't really accomplish too much. He kind of kept Yumi back, but I think Human is in general fine with that playstyle. And then again, the Zeppelin. Like, am I missing something here, or would that have been really strong?
No, I think you're totally on point.
Because there's literally only breakers, and of course water elementals, but as I said before, get a Zeppelin, get 2 destroyers, and with the right micro, which of course WFZ has, that should be a decent counter. Well, maybe he learned from this, maybe though he plays something entirely different. We're gonna see on the second map, I guess. But Yumiko is still looking strong, he's maintaining his shape, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. I think 2015 definitely was not his year. 2014 was way better when he was in the grand final of WCA and won his first big tournament, the NISO 2014. In 2015, not that much, right? But maybe he's back now.
Has he like ever won like a world championship caliber title?
No.
No.
NISO was his first. It was a major tournament, but it was only a Chinese competition.
And of course, he longs for this victory, especially against his Human. I don't think you should call them brethren.
No.
In VNTH, his Human nemesis, actually, rather. But the time of the Humans, for quite well compared to the past at least, seems to have kind of passed. Infi made a strong showing for the race again, of course, at CGS at the end of last year at WCA. But we saw Fly emerging extremely strong.
Lawliot.
And Lawliot, yes, obviously your favorite and a big fan of ours and a guy we love actually. And of course 120 making waves in the Undead scenes. And Human seems to be maybe on the downward spiral. But it's too early to tell. WCA and NWL, these big tournaments will give us more answers.
Sure. Next map is gonna be Twisted Meadows.
And this time I'm earlier. Very good. Twisted Meadows. All right. So of course the big benefit here for Human, we all know the Goblin Laboratory Creep Camp gives you immediately level 2, if you're lucky even a Tome of Experience and a good item for the Archmage. But if you get close position, which is a 33% chance, it can backfire.
It can backfire. You can harass it with the Death Knight. You can try to kill like 3 peasants is possible, I guess, 3 to 4. So that will throw you back. But in general, I guess it's a good map for Human because you can expand. It's absolutely possible against Undead, but it's also a good map for Undead because you can creep so much. And there are great items to boost your mana pool for Lich and Death Knight, of course. So
and there was a resub, by the way, by Rotterdam. I didn't even know he was subbed.
Nice. Maybe it was a year ago or 2. I'm not so sure.
Maybe. In any case, thank you, Rotterdam, very much for resubscribing for 2 months. I've been watching the stream actually last night, and what a treat it was to see some Farseer again. Rotterdam's favorite hero of all time, obviously.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. And what I also saw on Twitter is that Rotterdam would like to cast with us, so we're trying to get our schedules on par and make this happen. Oops. I got everything wrong here in the overlay, so you have to cover for a second.
As we're talking about Rotterdam, of course, we all remember him from the GOM tournament back in Korea with Todd, and what a great job they did, honestly. I was mocking Todd a few days ago, jokingly, like they may have thought they were good, but it was only because they were early in the game. But no, it was absolutely a pleasure to watch. Amazing casting done. And if you would join us on our stream, it would be a great honor and I imagine some great fun. And yeah, something you guys might be able to look forward to. But let's not talk about this too much. Let's stay with our game here. It is, after all, still WFZ versus Yumiko. And Yumiko, the human, I would say the favorite, probably, is leading 1-0. But Lady Luck has smiled upon the undead as he is close to the Goblin Laboratory.
That's it. Here you see it on stream, the laboratory, which is of course the first creep that the human will take. You see the altar is built very, very close to that spot, so he will be there quicker. He will spawn a water elemental here, and then he will spawn another water elemental here, so he has double damage, and of course militia support to make this one happen. If he's lucky, he can get a Tome of Experience. If he's lucky, he gets like a Sobi Mask, which is also nice. And that would be the perfect start for Yumiko. But you mentioned it, close position, and WFZ is scouting it right now with the Acolyte. He sees it, he knows it, and that means, oh, his Death Knight will be on the way to that lab in...
and is he gonna be doing the block? If he does a phenomenal block, it is a big deal, but he's not even going for it. Oh, this is a mistake, honestly. He should be blocking this with the Acolyte. He's coming in now. Maybe he was just trying not to get hit by the Archmage. Oh, WFZ, man, he's smarter than me. He's actually waiting for the Archmage to not be shooting his fireballs at him, and then he goes for the block. It's not the greatest block, everybody. It buys him a few seconds, and every second here is valued.
Indeed. Creep has started. The Acolyte is still... no, not alive anymore. He's going for the Rock Golem. Let's see the item. This is so important in the early game. Okay, no Tome of Experience and Boots of 12 Alas. Bad outcome for Yumiko. Everything is hurt. The Death Knight is coming.
Yeah, exactly. Everything is so incredibly hurt. And because he went for the power build, there's going to be no Arcane Tower in the main. This can result in a lot of corpses, but he's going for the Archmage immediately. I don't know about this choice. Of course, you're supposed to be very liberal with your first coil. By the way, synchronized death there of the peasants pretty nice because of the mana regen that you should always take advantage of. So 2 peasants have fallen. Third one gonna die. Fourth one gonna follow. That's a good start.
Yeah, no Arcane Tower against this is... yeah, not a mistake, but yeah, I think it's undoable here. And I think the skeleton harass will continue once he gets some time to breathe here. And half a level already for the Death Knight, and new skeletons, and more pressure.
And by the way, we just saw the expiring water elemental there with almost full health. So, to be honest, Yumiko made a mistake not creeping this perfectly. Usually you're supposed to tank most of the damage with a water elemental. He did this with the first one, but the second one was almost untouched, and that was why the peasants took so much damage. And that's why 4 peasant kills were easy to acquire. And usually when you get that much damage on the human early on, you take a lot of hits on your Death Knight in return. But he's looking very pretty. He's almost at full health, only missing like less than 100. He's going to tier 2. He's keeping up the scouting. Of course, he wants to know where the creep camp of the expansion is going to be. It might be close to his main base, next to the Goblin Lab, but it might also be at the other side, where a skeleton is already waiting. And yeah, WFZ, man, he's hanging around. He's waiting in the wings. And the Fiends, are they going to be coming, or is it going to be ghouls again?
Nope, the first Fiend is here. I think he's producing the second one. Yumiko at the shop. What's he going for? Boots, obviously. It's 19, so he can get that. But only 1 Fiend. He has the supply free. He has the resources. But he doesn't build the second Fiend. I'm curious why. And lots of militia coming in again. Holy cow.
I like this move by WFZ. This is something that he has been doing last year as well. He's waking up the creeps with a skeleton so that they pre-cast Bloodlust. So when the human arrives, there's already Bloodlust on the creeps, so there's gonna be more damage onto the peasants and everything. And here we go. A lot of militia. Jesus Christ, that's like 10. He wants to make really sure who's gonna get the ogre. It's gonna go towards the human. The Chinese humans are just so good at baiting out the coils, and exactly how you're supposed to do it. 2 footmen on Death Knight duty, and so is the Archmage missing the next coil. Honestly, quite a big mistake. He killed 1 peasant here so far, but he could have done so much more damage. He gets the last hit though with the Fiend on the ogre. He misses the easy ones, and he gets the hard ones. I guess that's one way to do it. but now the DK is very low, and that's a situation usually you never want to find yourself in, because now the expansion is going to come up, and you're forced back, which means the human can now dictate the tempo. By the way, finding... wait.
Talisman of Evasion.
Yeah, he bought the boots. I missed... No.
Yeah,
he bought the boot. Okay, I missed that one, so I was a little bit confused there.
And thanks to the boots, he gets the Fiend here. 215 gold gone and a big chunk of experience, level 3.3 already. And of course, the lack of damage now for the Death Knight. There is an opportunity to heal for the Undead on tier 1. He is on tier 2 now. He has backpack, so maybe a potion would be nice because he is in danger here. No tier 2 tech by Yumiko, of course, but the expansion is coming. Still a lot of hurt peasants here, at least one. He can kill that with ease with the Fiend, but he has to be so careful about his DK.
He's going for the greedy coil, not killing the peasant, but actually trying to get it for the skeletons, but the Archmage denies now both with his fireballs, and that would have been level 2 for the DK. That would have been so important. His greediness not paying off here, and of course this was well done by Yumiko, we have to say. And now the expansion is coming up. DK so low, no level 2, and by the way, he is super rushing tier 3 before Slaughterhouse, before the Lich. This is gonna mean a quick orb, of course, but if you only have an orb and not a sizable army, it's not that scary, and it's not like there's gonna be, wow, so many destroyers so quickly. He's gonna have the time to get one statue and then a destroyer upgrade, so then he's gonna have one statue early. But what does one statue do for you? It has no
healing.
mana.
Yeah,
I mean one destroyer, excuse me. What does one destroyer do for you? It gives you no healing. It has no mana, excuse me. I don't know. I know about these strategic choices by WFZ in this game, and of course the kind of failed harass. Now the Fiend is also getting surrounded. Oh my god, this should not be happening. WFZ today doesn't seem to be the best shape we've ever seen.
But Yumiko is playing this so good, man. After such a horrible early game, coming back with moves like that, that's so huge, man. He got one Fiend because of the boots, he got one Fiend because of a surround, and of course he denied his workers there, so only level 2 for the Death Knight. And he's going for the Acolytes once again. On Ancient Isles it didn't work that well, but this time looking fine. But of course tier 3 has finished, so he's a little late with that push. They can be rebuilt easily.
I think this is the first big mistake we're seeing from Yumiko this game. This is where humans can get really overconfident. If they lose all their footmen here and actually dealing 0 damage, that is a big deal. Like, footmen, yes, they are expendable. Yes, they are not the most useful anymore in the late game or mid game. But losing an Acolyte here actually kind of unnecessarily. But they do buy you time. You put them on defense when you have like 6 of them and you run them against the Fiends. They don't last long versus Orb of Corruption, but they do last a while. Time that you need. And now he wasted literally all of his footmen. He has to rebuild more. He's trying to follow this up with Zeppelin harassment, though. This will probably buy him more time. But as we take a look inside the human main, there is 0 guard towers, man. Yeah. So vulnerable.
He's just upgrading 2 once again with 2 lumber mills and the shredder now. So he just wants the upgrades as fast as possible. But okay, here are 2 Fiends now plus the Lich. Still no guard tower at the expansion as well. And the 3rd lumber mill is coming. Told you, he likes this.
But Mayor's Repair is coming in. Here comes the Nova against the peasants. Only a matter of seconds though until the towers finish. And there's no way he can break this with 2 Fiends and 1 Destroyer potentially. Militia support also coming in from the main. And this seems now to be slowly securing itself. Yeah, towers are up in the expo. Towers will be up in the main in just a second. And WFZ needs to find a new course of action, because with this small army, I don't see him breaking this. Maybe the Archmage kill. Maybe this is the way.
Yeah, how many? Is there a potion or something? No, but of course there's boots, so it's not that easy to chase him. But in the long run, definitely there is potential, but he needs level 3 for that. He needs ideally level 3 on both heroes for that. What is Yumiko doing? Tier 2 tech just started. So that's very late.
Yeah, that is actually pretty delayed. Of course, the Zeppelin and the Shredder, they are pretty expensive. Yeah. Even though you have the Expo, if you get them early, that's a big investment early on. And now Yumiko, does he want to try to defend this with only repair and towers, or does he defend with the army as well? Seems like he wants to defend with the army as well. There's no counter harass coming in, and this is partly because he lost so many footmen. With only 3 footmen, you can't really harass the undead main as well. If he had like 5 more footmen, I'm pretty sure he would be running into the undead main right now.
So what can he accomplish here? He has a destroyer now with mana. He constantly dispels the water elementals, or damages them, and keeps track of the army here. The shop is coming, but of course no units, and of course he doesn't want to invest gold now into units that die in like 2 seconds, so he doesn't invest in footmen. On the other side we don't see any innovation here, no worms, no nothing, but more statues for more destroyers, and I think that is the way to go here.
Yeah, but again, this looks like what undeads have been looking like for a long time against human, just smashing their head against the wall, or in this case against the lumber mill. Like, they're dealing so little damage, killing a few peasants here and there, but all of our favorite upgrade masonry is coming in big here, giving these buildings so much more mobility. Excuse me, survivability.
That would be so nice. Just
with
float
masonry
over
now,
with the black
now
citadel.
buildings can walk, yeah, like in StarCraft. You just float up the lumber mill and drop it on top of fiends and they explode. Seems balanced. But now Yumiko feels safe. He thinks, alright, you're knocking at my expansion door, but honestly, it's piercing damage. Like, what do I care? I'm gonna continue creeping and maybe even re-expand right next to you. This almost looks cocky, man.
Once
Level
again,
4
the
for the AM.
What? Level 4,
4
yeah,
for
yeah.
the
Level 2 Brilliance Aura, of course, is a nice boost. Gives you so much more water elementals throughout the game. But now, slowly but steady, he gets a grip of all the peasants here. 3 are dead, and only 5 are mining at the moment. So I think it's a good strategical move for Yumiko to go for a second expansion to just make sure that he gets additional income.
Question is he gonna be going for the tier 3 stuff that we especially know Infi and TH for? Is he gonna go for tier 2 math breakers again? For now, doesn't seem to want to decide. He's going for the main, where meat wagons are in production, but they're gonna be met with a brutal greeting here from the water elementals and the footmen. Destroyer though is coming in, and this is the nice thing about destroyers. They can pretty much one-handedly, single-handedly deal with this harassment. It takes some time though, and he's gonna lose the slaughterhouse. That is a big loss.
Yeah, no repair whatsoever. And rebuilding a slaughterhouse takes a lot of time and a lot of lumber especially. Now he goes for the Zeppelin, but for the catapult, but the Zeppelin is there, and the destroyer plus the tower. They will defend this very easily. He's going for the expansion. Lots of repair, and okay, Yumiko rebuilt a lot of workers here as well, so that seems to be safe. Second expansion is coming with, oh my god, infinite towers. Is this Infi playing here now?
It kind of looks like it. By the way, this could be super well abused by a Zeppelin drop behind the gold line. Something that I would like to see. But I guess this attack of the fiends over time is showing some fruition, because the human is constantly low on resources. He's only 36 supply. The repair and the lost peasants are really coming into play here. Now there is a meat wagon on the battlefield, and maybe this expansion was not the second one was not the right choice, because this is a lot of investment that is not paying off so far, and maybe these resources would be better suited in defense currently. Archmage is now trying to help defend. 1 AM.
Another point we have to mention, yeah, exactly, you are starting to talk about it. He goes for tier 3 immediately. No sanctums, no nothing. No breakers, no riflemen, no casters, no units at all. He builds a second barrack, so that's of course knights and gyros most likely, but he lacks the blacksmith for that. Now the Mountain King is here. I think it's an easy target on level 1.
I don't know. I'm not even sure if it's worth it though, because he's just gonna be back so soon and costs no money basically. This expansion might fall though. I don't see the human. Oh, Blizzard, that's his way to go. Alright. I wanted to say I don't see him contesting this attack, but he wants to do it via Blizzard. There's statues, of course, to heal for the fiends, and the Archmage can't really go out too far because Coil Nova obviously will hurt him quite a lot. But there's only one wagon, man. This slaughterhouse kill was actually so big. Imagine 3 wagons here. This expo would have been dead already. And mass peasants being produced at the expansion here we can see in queue. The Blizzard so far isn't too impressive at all, honestly.
The stage. Oh, here comes Scroll Nova, but the Scroll of Healing being used. And of course, constant disease cloud, so he needs healing on the workers.
Triple barracks coming from Yuki, by the way.
Yeah, and no blacksmith still, right? So no gyros.
Yeah,
or did I miss
but he
something?
doesn't need gyros, I think. Just make like mass knights, and then when he has 70 supply, he should be able to run through this. Unless, of course, we have a lot of destroyers by then, but I don't know that the Undead can really afford it. Now, finally getting one Fiend, thanks to the stun from the Bolt. A little bit of Miss Micro. Might be losing a statue here, which, of course, should not be happening, but no. But this bought enough time, this bought enough space. Expansion again, up to full health, thanks to, again, masonry upgrades.
Yeah, the second one.
This looked like a little bit of too much greed from the human. But in the end, it seems like it was enough time. By the way, silence now against the Blizzard for, with a Dark Ranger third. It seems like the expansion, the second one, is now starting to pay off. And the barracks, when are they going to start to churn out units? Not yet.
No, he is at tier 3. He will. He would like to have the Paladin, of course. But now there is production, there is Knights, and I missed the Blacksmith here, so he can go into workshops.
And the Paladin most likely gonna follow suit as well. And
the Dark Ranger is here already to silence them.
Yeah, but once there's like 7 knights, I don't know the Undead can do this anymore. He needed to not lose that slaughterhouse. He needed to have destroyers in defense at home along with the Death Knight earlier. Not lose the slaughterhouse. Have like 3 meat wagons earlier, maybe even with a tag upgrade. Then he can break that expo. Then he might be able to break the human. But again, that slaughterhouse kill was actually so huge. And now Yumi found the time. Yumi found the space. And he's not gonna win this with fancy micro. He's not gonna win this with beautiful moves here. He's just gonna win it with, well, economy. And obviously that is one big factor of RTS games. It's not only about micro, it's also about economy, about movement and management of your resources around the map. And well, if you are far ahead in this regard, usually you stand a good chance. Now, though, if he engages with too few knights, this could actually backfire, because those only 2 can easily be sniped.
He has the Zeppelin here to save his wagons, which were in danger. But yeah, as I mentioned, the Mountain King is an easy target on tier 1. There's an Acolyte coming for repair, I guess, being coiled. That's how important it is to him. And the first knight is gonna go down. There is no staff so far. And the Archmage is also low, but he has an Invo Potion. There is another Nova, there is another coil, so he has to be careful.
And by the way, we see no gyros coming from the workshop. We see a tank trying to buy some more space, but now he has 3 meat wagons. Is this gonna be enough to cancel the expansion, to kill it rather? Oh my god, look at all the peasants, they are so hurt. But now with the 3 knights he feels confident enough, but the Zeppelin again working overtime, saving those meat wagons for so long, so often. So much repair coming in. Still, is he finally gonna be able to get it? The Nova gets quite a few kills. 3 peasant corpses we can see on the ground right there, and this is it! The expansion is dead, but there is a second one, and there's a tank on the way towards the main.
There it is, 0-1 upgrade already for the tank, but he got a lot of experience by killing all the peasants here, of course. Oh my god, oh, okay, they're still alive. And Nova would be so awesome, but of course it can't really dive into all those towers, it's not really worth it. And here's the Paladin, together with the Mountain King and the tank and a few knights, he's going for it. There is a sacrificial pit being built, so maybe he wanted to transition into Frostworms, I don't know. Tank is here, but so is the first few towers. Town portal now, or is it just a staff? I think it's a town portal, right? Yeah, there it is, very offensively.
Oh, double surround with the TP, but it opens it up! The the Paladin was actually surrounded with the catapults there. He dies anyways though in the end. And now with the meat wagons, he has a good answer against the tanks, and the MK also in trouble. What was Yumi doing here? He was trying to distract, trying to buy some base, I guess, for his Expo, but his Expo is dead anyways. Now he loses a tank, 2 heroes, and a 3rd tank as well. And all it cost for the Undead was a TP. This was certainly a momentum swing. Now, if he knows about the expansion in the north, he might be able to cancel it. But the towers are set up in a perfect spot, so it's impossible for all the Fiends and all the Catapults to attack the expansion without taking damage themselves. Yeah. So this expansion is going to be pretty sturdy. Even more than the only level, the 3 Masonry upgrades provide anyways.
Oh yeah, yes, the 3rd one. But with the 2 wagons, it's
actually the Fiends are... And the Fiends, look at the towers melting away. This is... Alright. Wasn't expecting those towers to be falling that quickly, of course, without an army there to distract from the towers and without repair. The towers are certainly beatable. So Yumiko, man, looking so dominant in this game. Now he's down to only 52, now 60 supply. He's losing peasant after peasant. He's coming in from the left. He needs to make this defense work. He only has 4 knights, though.
Yeah, I think it's not enough, but the position for him is great at the moment. Blizzard coming in again, but constantly healing due to the Obsidian statue. 4 knights. The Paladin is back as well, so there is Holy Light available. And this time there's the staff. WFZ's positioning at the moment not that great. Here comes Nova, here comes Coil. Nice silence on the Paladin. No Holy Light available. And one of the 4 is down.
Tanks in the meantime, by the way, in the main base. The meat wagons are being dropped, but they can't attack. I guess they're too close to the wagons. WFZ a little bit overwhelmed here with the multitasking. He's not doing the perfect job on all fronts, which obviously is not very easy to do. But the tanks are gonna die anyways, I guess. Only 2, so the ghouls and the towers can take care of him. The Archmage, in the meantime, in a lot of trouble. But there is an Invul Potion still available on him, as well as the TP. So the tank threat for now has been gotten rid of, and there's not more tanks coming. But there is more knights coming.
Yeah, but I guess you mentioned it, the Fiends can deal with them. And the 1 Destroyer, only 1-time magic damage, is able, of course, in combination with the... Orb of Corruption, is able to deal with them. Now the human triple hero combo is back, but they are weak. He has a good Archmage, but he has a weak Mountain King and a weak Paladin, and he has to pull the town portal again to his Expo, and the Zeppelin saves 3 meat wagons. Well done by WFZ.
What a weird game this is. Unfolding it like you see here is very unusual. And the Blizzard really is so underwhelming this game. The Dark Ranger pick actually I think is working pretty damn well. And now Expo number 1 was killed. It was rebuilt though, but now Expo number 2 is in jeopardy. But Yumi is slowly getting up to 80 supply and getting up to the Death Ball Knight army.
The main gold mines are down, by the way. WFZ has no income anymore. That's his army. 68 food, he has 400 gold left, but I think he needs, I don't know, a few potions or something, so he can't really invest into army. He spent a lot of gold now. I don't know. The knights are coming in, and the blizzard. The tanks, the catapults are being dropped. The Lich is in problems, so he is surrounded by knights. First call heals him, and the Zeppelin saving the day once again.
Dark Ranger, good job getting out of these surrounds. Yeah, the Dark Ranger, as you said, is now being surrounded, but the Zeppelin again saving her. But these are nice moves. But how are you supposed to deal with so much stuff? These knights have reached the Death Ball status. DK now, Bolt might be killing him. Yes, the Holy Light ensures it. The first hero has fallen, and the Blizzard, it may have not been too strong in the early stages, but now it's enough. GG is called, and Yumi gets the 2-0.
Yeah, 3 match points for Yumiko now. And it's always such a shame to see how the undeads try to do good and how the undeads have these small wins on the map, but in the end, human just waits and waits and waits and builds the death ball and then runs over you. But Yumiko played it well in the early game, despite coming back from a horrible first creep, and then just stabilized throughout the game. I guess going for the second expansion really won him that game in the end.
Yeah, I guess in this scenario it did, but of course in that stage it cost him so much of an investment. So if he had not done that, he could have done something else. So seeing it like that, I'm not sure if you can just do this, but yeah, it was in the end his win condition, I guess. After all, the game ended when the main gold mines were gone, and the Undead had to win the fight right then and there. So Yumi could have even kind of come out even in this fight. He could have even lost that fight, lost the Expo. But if he had done enough damage to the Undead, he still would have won that game, thanks to the first expansion. So
2-0 for Yumiko. WFZ has to win the third map or he's down to the lowest bracket. We're gonna do a little break here, around 10 minutes, then we'll be back with map number 3 in this series. And of course afterwards we have an awesome Night of Mirror between Lawlight and Joshishi. So if you want to watch Warcraft, back to Warcraft, it's the place for you. So it's still 3 minutes. Oopala, what's going on here? Remo was gone. It's still a few minutes until...
I can't join the game.
You can't join the game?
Interrupt you here. Is it the same password as before?
Yep.
It's Last Refuge, right?
Yep. I'll just paste it again on Facebook. I don't know. Yeah, it's still 2 minutes and 30 until the next game. But I guess there's so much Warcraft content here in the upcoming days that we can talk about it a bit. Of course, today is NWL. Tomorrow is NWL as well, with the games Focus versus Remind. And what's the second game that we're gonna see? It is 120 versus Shishi. Oh no, that can't be right. That's WCA. It's 120 versus So-In, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's gonna be destruction, most likely.
Yeah, build the hype so people are excited to tune in and are excited to see the outcome of that game.
Yeah, man. Dude, today is all about hype building. Today we have Night of Mirror and Human versus Undead. Amazing games, amazing matchups. So today is all about the hype.
Dude, it's a Night of Mirror with a Lawlight. It's basically the same as saying Foggy and Sonic.
Nah, I'm not so sure. I think, isn't Lawlight like these days kind of the well-behaved bear player with an occasional Zeppelin?
Haven't you seen the best of 7 versus Moon? It was
no.
epic in TWCL. I think I casted it with yours. It's of course up on our YouTube. I don't really like best of 7s because I think best of 5 is just enough. And you get a little tired of the matchup and stuff. But that series was just awesome. And I'm a big fan of Night of Mirror if it's not Bears. So I'm excited for that, definitely. But yeah, of course, on top of that, we have the Crown of Kings tournament by Africa TV. Not going to be streamed on Twitch, but on Africa TV at 14 CEST. The thread is all over Reddit. It's a sticky there. So if you want information on that, you can go to wc3.reddit.com and you see it as a sticky with the players Foggy, Cooper, Hawk, Sonic, Lawlight, Check, Focus, and Sock. So that's going to be good. $500 on the line. On Sunday, we're of course here for Jera Cup, which is, of course, the longest running weekly tournament in Europe with a lot of Korean players participating as well. And on Monday, man, the deciding game of WCA qualifier. That's gonna be so awesome. Fly versus TH, fighting for the slot. So good.
Yeah, lots of Warcraft. You guys may have noticed this already. The last couple of weeks have been very, very packed for us. And it might be a little bit exhausting, but it's also definitely a lot of fun and definitely worth it. And yeah, I hope we will see you guys for a lot of those games. But the game we are going to be casting and seeing right now is still Yumiko versus WFZ. Yumiko the human is leading 2-0. WFZ almost found an answer on map number 2, it seemed, but over time the expansion did work out for the human. Last Refuge is a much smaller map. The expansion, though, of course, most of the time is, or pretty much all of the time, is gonna be played. But we saw some good showings from Undeads here. The Zeppelin is always a possibility. The expansion is closer to the Undead base and set up in such a way that Fiends especially are usually pretty good at dealing with the towers. And the main is also kind of vulnerable, a lot of surface area. But Yumiko, man, honestly, he made a few mistakes, especially that overcommitment with the Footman in game number 2, I thought could potentially break his neck. But for the most part, he seems to have the answers. And it's going to be up to WFZ to come up with something special here, I feel.
I feel that as well, and this is of course match points for Yumiko. He hasn't lost a single map in this tournament so far. 3-0 versus Focus, now 2-0 versus WFZ. That's a strong performance, and that shows in what state this dude is. Qualified for the WCA China playoffs already for the qualifier number 1. So he's on fire. He's on fire. And WFZ only slowly getting in the shape that he was in 2014. Maybe he can come back now. Maybe he can come back on Last Refuge. He's starting in the upper right, the former best on that player. And once again, he's starting things up with a Death Knight. So the thing for Yumiko is he has a Mountain King here. That's something we saw already. I guess he played it as well at the WCA group stage. The qualifiers group stage, and WFZ found no answer to that.
Yeah, MK of course on Last Refuge pretty solid, pretty valid, because you don't take much damage. The first camp doesn't deal much damage, the expansion doesn't deal much damage. But at some point you do want the mercenary support, and that is not that easy to creep. If the undead is there to harass and you don't get the bolts around, you can start to suffer quite a bit. But yeah.
I think that's exactly what happened at the WCA game, by the way. Him getting surrounded immediately.
Yeah, I think you may be right. And the DK is not going for the immediate harass, maybe fearing the MK Bolt Hammer surround potential too much. He's instead going for the Troll Priest and found the Wand of Illusion. This is actually a really good item against being surrounded. You just spam mass illusions and you block yourself with them, and then you can't really get bolts surrounded. So that's a nice first early drop for him.
Indeed, and of course it opens up a lot of scouting potential here. Just duplicate a unit and send it away, and then you see it. Yumiko is of course going for the expansion. The question is when. His Mountain King is far, far away from his expo or his mercenary camp, which he would like to have before starting the expo. But yeah, he's stealing experience from his opponent. And once again, WFZ is starting things up with a ghoul creep.
This is gonna be such a late expo, man, though. Like, this is gonna be so late. And yeah, as you say, ghoul creep, also, this is the build order from map number 1. Getting 4 ghouls and harassing with them. A little bit of miss macro here from him, forgetting about the ziggurats actually for too long. And now, I don't know about this creep camp, honestly. Usually you want to be down there to be harassing when the expo is being crept. But he's miles and miles away. The illusion might be scouting this, but
Players' forces are under attack.
Maybe it's intentional though. Maybe he thinks, alright, I'm just gonna get bolts surrounded anyways, I'm gonna use my time for creeping instead. But especially with the Wand of Illusion, I think he could have absolutely evaded those surrounds.
Yeah, definitely possible. The item for the Mountain King is 2 circlets so far, which is a great pickup. And the Undead is going for his natural expansion creep right away. He did tech, so that's no counter expansion or whatever. So this is a very, very strange play by WFZ.
I think it makes sense though, kind of, because especially on Last Refuge, as I said before, the creeps are really easy to deal with, don't deal much damage. So on the human side, it's not like there's a lot of hurt stuff. It's not like you can deal so much damage there. So creeping yourself makes sense. But when we see humans getting up their expansion without any damage taken, it oftentimes spirals out of control for them. Now tier 2 though is being finished by the Undead, then the Lich comes out, and with the Frost Armor and with proper microing and anti-surrounding, this will be a great boost in the Undead's arsenal. He will be very, very strong here on tier 2. Much stronger than the human, of course, barring that he gets surrounded. How does he want to exploit this strength at the moment? Seems like creeping is still his way to go.
Yeah, looks like he wants level 3 before engaging for the first time. Lich, of course, is the second hero of choice. Slaughterhouse is coming in the later tier 3 tech because he lacks some lumber, thanks to the ghouls helping him creep all the time. So, Yumiko so far, 2 guard towers will be up. Comes an arcane tower as well. He has 6 footmen already, so he seems to be prepared for what's coming. There are towers in the main base as well, so there's not so much opportunity to harass over here. And it's
Oh,
not
nice scouting, by the
Forces
way.
are under attack.
Yeah, right.
The DK illusion all the time, knowing where the human is. So he knows where he can go safely. Now, for example, he can safely creep his merchant, get level 3, and he doesn't have to fear losing any fiends. Acolyte also here in position. May have wanted to go for the Zeppelin once it turns daytime, because before daytime the Zeppelin is not available. But yeah, I think this is okay for WFZ. He hasn't lost anything, and that's what the MK loves to do early games. Pick off your fiends, maybe your ghouls, but preferably pick off your fiends, and then whenever the undead wants to strike, because at some time he probably has to strike, he will be weakened. But the undead hasn't lost anything so far, and maybe with one statue or two, with fiends, with catapults, with a zeppelin, maybe like that he's gonna be committing to the expansion.
That might be his game plan. That's something we've rarely seen in the past couple of weeks and months from undead players playing so passively. But the aggression didn't work twice, so why not mix things up a little? Of course, it's not that easy. Second barracks coming from Yumiko already, and he's not even on tier 2, so that's gonna be a lot of footmen, and we're gonna see the first destroyers soon, I guess.
That's typical Yumi play, the double barracks. And I'm not so sure about the destroyers. This might be tier 2 wagons. After all, there is no Archmage here, there is no water elementals, and there is no Merc camp support. He decided to go for the Goblin Lab instead of the Mercs, and we see him getting the Zeppelin. He doesn't want to give that over to his undead enemy. And, well, he's gonna lose his shop here, but that's not too big of a loss. He has another one at the expansion coming up soon. He's heading into the undead main instead.
And he catches the fiend.
Yeah, and finds a fiend on the way.
Easy pickup for the Mountain King, of course, being very, very close to level 4 already. He has healing wards, heal scroll, invo potion. That's gonna be devastating for the undead. He can easily walk into there. 2 spirit towers are coming, but they are too late here. You see the wagon, but he can't really exit the base. It's still blocked by the footman trying to go for a surround, but good micro by WFZ escaping from there. First ghoul is down. What can WFZ do in the process? Only killing farms and stuff. It's not that efficient, so let's focus on the human player here. It is level 4. The Death Knight is here to defend.
Triple Spirit Tower, we have Defend though, and it's actually not activated on all the footmen. That's a pretty big mistake, honestly. The MK though is being focused for now, had to use the Invul. The surround is not being kept by the undead. That may have been a bit of a mistake, and now he's going for the Haunted Gold Mine. The footmen not taking that much damage, but over time, honestly, with 3 Spirit Towers, it does add up. Now TP coming towards not the main, but the expansion to heal up. He doesn't want to engage the Lich right away, he wants to have some healing first. And this is pretty reminiscent of game number 2. He's knocking on the door somewhere with his Fiends and Lich, but still it's not that much damage.
But the defense was great, I feel. No Acolyte has been lost. He has an extra one and he builds a 7th Acolyte actually. Just to be safe, I guess. Or is he going for an expansion? I don't know. Might be the case. So the first wagon is here, huh?
Maybe he's gonna pull them towards his army for repair.
For repair,
He got a Zeppelin right now, and that is of course the #1 thing that you can do against the Bolter surround potential. Speaking of which, MK in the middle of the map, finding a ghoul, and will be finding a second one as well. But those are only ghouls, they're not that important anymore. He doesn't really need the lumber income, since he's only playing tier 2, but actually now he lost all of his ghouls, literally all. So I guess he has to make some of them again. But yeah, with a meat wagon here in the main base, this will become a problem after time, but he knows it's only one meat wagon and he wants to intercept the other ones that will be coming from the main.
Yeah, his positioning on the map is absolutely good for Yumiko. He will intercept nearly everything. Yumiko was supply stuck for a while. Now he's up at 50 where he wants to be. The lumber mill, is it gonna go down? The repair is strong at the moment. No Nova into the peasants, and he can't really hurt the economy here. Yumi has 1,000 lumber, so he doesn't have to care about that. He can repair over and over and over again.
A player's forces are under
and he's creeping the laboratory. I'm seeing some zappers coming.
Ooh. Well, yeah, I can see that. Where can he place
By the
them?
way, he already built the towers and the ziggurats in such a way that zappers are not that effective with 2
Exactly. I
versus
was just looking for a potential bombing spot for the zappers, but the ziggurats are in a good place. So the Magi is down, and we see the Mana Stone. Perfect item, and here they come.
Yep, those are the zappers. Maybe a staff on the Death Knight. Do we have one? No. Those would of course be easy coil snipes. He sees this coming with from a mile away though. He has the Zeppelin, so the TP in has to come. There's also tier 3 on the way. Now the zappers. First one killed, second one as well. He's going for the Black Citadel. I guess he had to detonate it anyways because it wasn't going to survive for too much longer. So not much damage has been done, but the Undead has been forced back. He lost 1 footman, 2 footmen, 3rd footman gonna fall as well. But the MK still wants to engage, man. He's feeling fighty.
Yeah, maybe he just wants level 5, and so he killed that one. Now Nova comes in and might be another pickup here. No coil anymore, but you know, Frostmourne hungers and will kill that 1 footman. Booyah. Level 3.6 and level 2 on the Lich, plus additional attack speed from the Slippers and the Claws. So the Lich is pretty okay. He has a big healing potion that's always great against an almost level 5 Mountain King. But yeah, he didn't damage the economy. I think that's the biggest problem he faces right now.
And double Sanctums coming up. Have to be cancelled though, as the Archmage, the Undead is arriving at the human expansion. But there's only 1 meat wagon still. Not the most threatening. The Undead up at only 40 supply. He could be going higher. He's up at 900 gold. Anyways. But kind of low on lumber, man. Those ghouls, I was underestimating it. I thought it wasn't gonna be a big issue losing them, but they actually did put quite a dent in his economy.
Yeah, I think he lost the rebuild ghouls as well, so that's maybe the bigger issue. He just invested into tech, and of course he needs a lot of lumber for the destroyer upgrade. That's gonna be late for quite some time. Zeppelin scouting everywhere, scouting the red spots and everything, but Yumiko not on the battlefield, nowhere to be found at the moment. That opens up another opportunity to creep and getting the Lich closer and closer to level 3, and of course a big consumable item here.
But MK hits level 5 in just a few seconds here, and the Blood Mage is already there. Banish, very good with a level 3 bolt, instantly killing Fiend, but he might be going for the Siphon mana anyways, because having instant kill or more mana on the MK might still be better, but both choices are very good. Tome of Experience, by the way, very good for the Undead on the other hand, level 3 now for the Lich. But his problem is, his army consists mainly of Fiends, and this hero choice of the human is made to demolish Fiends.
Yeah, that's right, you just pointed it out. Banish Bolt, so easy to pick them off one after another. And we still have the big the Mana Stone, so there's gonna be plenty of mana for the Mountain King. Of course we have Siphon mana, so more mana being transferred to that guy, and the Blood Mage seems to be safe with 2 heal potions. He is squishy, there is potential to nuke him, especially with level 2 Coil Nova. But Yumiko is prepared for hero focus.
More and more towers are coming in for Yumi, so there's no way destroyers are going to be breaking this. And I really like this choice actually, I hate myself for saying this, but he knows that the Undead pretty much has to go into a lot of destroyers, because Fiends will be disappearing very, very shortly. And destroyers, obviously being magic immune, don't have to face that issue. And destroyers, you can put them to use either harassing or scouting or trying to break the towers. And with so many towers, that's not going to be an option anymore. The Acolyte actually coming in for an expansion, and the militia scouted it right at that second. Wow. This is amazing timing, actually.
He knows what to do, man. This NWL seems to be his hometown, his home field where he feels comfortable. So, Zeppelin skill scouting this. Almost level 2 on the Blood Mage, and then things get interesting. Only 1 wagon, only 1 destroyer. Not really too much of everything. But the Dreadlord is coming. At least WFZ's getting style points here.
Wow. Oh man, but he might be making a quick exit here on Last Refuge. He's running right into the human. Where are we gonna see the presentation of the first level 3 bolt? There it is, and the surround coming in as well. Easy peasy, squeezy as lemons, and the Dreadlord will be dying again. Level 2 for the Blood Mage, so now we definitely have Banish and Bolt combination. And the Fiends are gonna start hurting the pain, unless there's Miraculous Dispel. Not on the first one though.
Yeah, it's gonna be one after another, but he tries to go for the counter kill, the first potion being used. How much more coils are there, plenty of them. Invo potion being used as well, but the undead will keep track. Second fiend down due to that combination that all the undead fears so much. But there's gotta be another coil nova in a second. Ah, the acolyte is scouted again. Bash on the Death Knight. Okay, Siphon Mana comes into play.
Fiends are disappearing, but so might be the Blood Mage. No, there's a Zeppelin for him as well, actually. There is Web, though. So I guess he can get it in the end. The Fiend will die the old-fashioned way without the banish. Or will she? She's being healed by the coil once more. The Footmen, of course, are not really strong anymore at all. Seems like he doesn't have Borrow here, by the way. But the Blood Mage is out of the Zeppelin. Again, he's draining the mana. The Undead is almost entirely dry on the mana front. And Yumiko, even with this paltry force, is decimating the Undead.
All of the Fiends are gone, and now he can easily escape with the Zeppelin if he wants to bash on the Death Knight, but I guess he doesn't have the damage output, so both ways will part. Oh, maybe on the Blood Mage. Is there another Nova? No, not anymore, thanks to Siphon. All the items are gone, though. This time he saves himself into a Zeppelin. Another Acolyte is coming. Unloads the... Oh, Banish Bolt on the Lich. Level up, saves him for now. Blood Mage dies. And Invo Potion on the Lich, so he keeps him alive. Great reactions by WFZ. But for how long?
A little bit mismanaged, but now the Lich still in trouble. Greater healing, though, keeping him alive still. MK only has one bolt, but after this, he still has the mana. So look at the Peasant, man. He was thinking, yeah, of course I'm gonna win this fight. I'm gonna win this fight easily. And then I'm gonna expand on the back of it. But... not so much. The Undead drives him back for now, but as all of this is happening, workshops have been created, and our favorite combination of masonry and tanks is soon gonna come into effect.
And knights, of course, so he needs a lot more. Yumiko is actually producing everything here. Tanks are coming, knights are coming, breakers are coming. He wants to make sure that he wins this game, this match 3-0. Staff is on the Mountain King now. Of course, a great addition to save additional units. Now the first knight is out, but might be a snipe here. Coil hits him, but the staff, there it is in full effect.
Yep, easy save, and now the knights, as you mentioned before. In game number 2, they were the Deathball army. This time they're not being mass-produced from triple racks. There's coming something from everywhere, actually. Even the militia again coming in. They want to reclaim their turf here, get the expansion up in the second try, and seems like they might be successful as the Undead has to cancel everything here. Level 5 for the DK. This is actually a big damage boost. I wonder still what the Dreadlord is here for. Must be sleep, of course.
Yeah,
but
sleep versus Siphon Mana, I guess.
Ah. Interesting.
And I don't know, but Carrion Swarm versus tanks also not that bad, or does it work? I'm not too sure.
No,
yeah.
It's only biological units. It works on ground and air, but
okay,
only
so then it's the Vamp Aura with
attack.
dominations.
Well, he loses another Fiend here, Banish Bolt, of course, again being demonstrated. And WFZ once more tries to go for the expansion. The Abomination you were mentioning before, we see the first one coming out right now. And that's what you need against this combo of Blood Mage and MK. Get stuff that doesn't immediately die, and hopefully you can heal it up afterwards.
Two tanks are arriving in the base. There's one Fiend parked here. I don't know if it's on purpose to defeat a Zeppelin harass or something. But maybe he forgot about it. Really, I'm not too sure about that. So the Lich finally has the Orb of Corruption. We see another Banish Bolt combo, another Fiend dying. That's no news. The Paladin is here as a third hero. Here is Siphon Mana, but the Paladin is dying, and that's what you want. Keep him low, keep him on level 1. But the sleep against Siphon Mana did not work that well so far.
He slept the MK actually, and now the Siphon. All of the mana is gone for the Dreadlord. Blood Mage pretty much still full mana. MK can be given that mana and still has the mana stone in his inventory. In the meantime, tanks are taking care of this expansion, which will have to be cancelled for, like, I don't know, the 4th time. But wait on that. The Fiend dies once more, as you say. It's no news. He gets the Knight finally. Could have been Staff, but I guess was forgotten here. Oh no, it wasn't cooldown actually, excuse me. The tanks will slowly be gotten rid of, but yeah, everything has to be cancelled again. Destroyer is now up in the air. They are good against the Knights, and currently there is no answer to this, but I imagine that the Gyros will be coming soon.
Yeah, exactly. He has 2 workshops, so he can produce them easily. There is a town portal, here comes the focus, and he has to pull it, but I think coming from 2 bases, 350 gold is easy, affordable for Yumiko in this game. Okay, there's still 1 tank, so I guess he can't really start to build the expo up again. In the main bases, there's not too many gold left. 800 only. For Yumiko, it's empty. That's what this one harass got Yumiko. So Yumiko is on 1 base.
And Yumiko will be on 0 bases in just a little while here. So will the undead.
True that.
So
he cannot afford this so easy.
So maybe actually this suddenly became an interesting game. Honestly, in my head I was writing this off for quite a while now. But there will be no more income for the human. But Banish, Bolt and Staff combination are super cost-effective tools at the disposal of the human. And he does not want to play this without income. He's going for the next expansion camp and he's nearing that Death Ball stage again. He still has 1000 gold up his sleeve. He has 5 knights and a breaker. And the heroes are finding levels as well.
Yeah. WFZ is still harassing the expansion. Now the gold mine is gone, so I don't really know what he's doing here, to be honest. 2 destroyers up in the air, taking care of the gyrocopters. That is nice, keeping the count low, not let them reach their critical mass, and keep the towers low as well. He's trying to go for a counter expansion on his own again.
And I think this is the 3rd time in a row that I'm mentioning this in these games. Destroyer in vulnerable stage has been reached again, but only for so long as there are not enough gyros. He has 1 at the moment, and he has no gold actually. So yeah. This is a really weird scenario, but seems like Yumi knows about this expansion. He's easily going to be able to cancel it again. Does the undead have the arsenal to deal with the knights? I'm not sure. Where is it? Banish, Bolt? Actually, no Banish, only the Bolt, but it will be enough for the kill anyways. And if there's one thing I have to question in this game, it's his persistence with the Fiends. I think he should have stopped producing them a long time ago. DK is being drained a lot. Sleep comes in on the Paladin. Is he gonna try to focus some hero on the back of this? Doesn't look like a Dreadlord, by the way. In a lot of trouble. Here comes the Banish. No Bolt though, thanks to the Sleep. Keeps him alive. But the heroes seem to be standing strong for the human. Staffs out the Knight, not losing this one. DK has to TP out. And the expansion is gone.
Yeah, 2 knights took care of that. The army of Yumiko is still looking strong. 48 food, 0 gold, but the expansion is coming. And WFZ still has 700 gold. Oh, okay, now 500 gold. What will he do with it? 1 death push towards the expansion of Yumi, and then try to win the game in the long run, or in the short run, or expand 1 more time. But the scouting game of Yumiko is great with his gyrocopters, obviously.
Level 5 Lich now, though. That is a lot of damage. If you sleep the Paladin and then go for the Blood Mage, you might be able to find an easy pickoff.
But the Paladin is level 2 now and has Divine Shield, so it's not that easy anymore.
That's true. So he might be forced to pop that spell early, the Divine Shield, and after that he is very vulnerable. But every second is a big threat to the undead here, as of course the Bolt Banish combo is so dangerous. But there's no Brilliance Aura here, so the human heroes are kind of low on mana.
Okay, he's trying to go for the expo. First tower is down, there's no coil anymore. No mana potion, no invul potion, no heal potion, no nothing. The human is coming. The towers will be gone when he arrives. How much damage can he do towards the peasant? I don't think it's such a big deal. The first knights arrive. We have 2 destroyers up in the air. Nova connecting. Siphon mana and bash. He can and the bolt. He cannot do anything against this. Holy light against the knight, but I think the destroyers are taking good care of them. Ah, Holy Light, greatly done. Now more and more gyrocopters streaming in. Siphon mana and bolt once again. The Dreadlord is in problems. Holy Light, where's the last hit? And it will be there in a second because Holy Light is real. No, the Dreadlord actually is surviving this for now. But
Blood Mage now in trouble on the other side. He's being staffed out, but he's gone. Dreadlord, however, is dead. Not gone, but dead. And the Paladin Divine Shield will keep him alive. How much mana do we have? I guess
0
not
on
much
the
at all. And the human only has Holy Light, no more bolts. So the Destroyer actually is again invulnerable. Wait, actually there's more gyros coming in. The statues, man, the healing they provide and the mana is so huge at the moment. This is a lot of micro going down, but the Undead seems to be forced to retreat, maybe. He's gonna find another knight here. He should really kill those damn flying machines before his destroyer dies, and I guess he's gonna be able to do it! The destroyer will not... No, yes, he will fall just seconds before the gyro falls, and that's it. He gives up. It's GG.
That was actually... I guess a big mistake. He was focusing the knights, he was focusing the breakers throughout the entire time with the Lich, and you saw how much damage he did. He had like plus 15, I guess, with the Medallion of Courage, Claws, and the Orb. So it's like 3 shots and the gyrocopters are down, and then you have the Destroyer up in the air that can deal with the damage of knights. But he kind of forgot about it, and that in the end might have cost him the game here, but of course his heroes were low. The human Yumiko took great care of the statues, which is, yeah, which can save you games, the constant healing and mana regeneration. That was not the case here. And so Yumiko still without a map loss in the winner bracket semifinal. Damn impressive.
Yep. This 3-0 really looked like Yumiko has the answers. He was struggling, we do have to say, in quite a few stages, but in the end he did pull through. And WFZ, he surprised us with the Dreadlord there, but I don't know if he has the most practice, especially that last fight, like the sleeps were totally off mark. He slept the MK twice after the bolt had been used, and of course that's not how you're supposed to do it. But maybe something we're going to see in the future. Maybe it has potential, but this time, this 3-0, he did not stand a chance, honestly.
I doubt that we're going to see a lot more Dreadlord, because it's just so hard to pull off. I don't think it's going to work. Maybe 120 can do it with his outside of this world micro that we see week after week now. So that the sleeps have to arrive in time before there's Divine Shield, before there's Siphon Mana or Bash Bolt, whatever. But there's so many X factors that can counter a Dreadlord in the human army that I don't think it will be the big savior of undeads or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I guess he preferred the Dreadlord over the Dark Ranger because he's a little bit more tanky. But honestly, he's not that tanky. He might be a strength hero, but he's not really survivable, especially on level 1. I think he has better strength gain then, but level 1 not that impressive. Are we actually continuing with the next game right away?
We're setting up, but... okay, let's just ask, when will it start? I'm not really sure, because I guess La Light is playing QSL at the moment.
Not only a lot of stuff going on for the viewers and for us casters, but also for the players.
Obviously. Without the players, there won't be matches. So let's see, there are 2 streams here in this Reddit thread. Maybe we can see how far along the games are.
So Nice Game TV is telling us in 8 minutes we'll be starting.
Okay, so we're gonna go into a little break here, refill our waters and stuff, and then we'll be back with the Knight of Mirror, Lord Light versus Zoshishi.
Hi, I'm Low Riot, and you watching Back to Warcraft.